So here we are now, managed to separate the back actor from the king post, using the machine to lift the actual back actor up, to put her on, you know, to slacken off the pins so we can actually drive her through. So that's the obviously we just put it under so that we can swing the king post out sideways this way. We've got to take the main king pin out now, which drops out the bottom. So you've got to make sure that you've got at least 900 clearance to make room for the pin to drop out the bottom here. So that's the pin obviously goes right through the top, down through to the bottom, which is to drop out, but we'll have to support this while we do it. And then we can swing the king post out, and inspect the bushes. Now the bushes in here, they appeared to be, there seemed to be quite a bit of movement in there when the machine was in operation. You know, when you try to pick it up its own weight, you can see a lot of movement, particularly on this pin actually, which goes through there. And I was worried that it elongated the hole from the bush into the actual casting, which means that, you know, putting a new bush in there wouldn't have been any good. You'd have had to have line bored it out and put a brand new bush in. But at the moment, the bush, it looks like just the bush has worn. There's obviously, you can see here that there's, you know, there's absolutely plenty left on it, you know, top and bottom, and also the other side. So there is a chance that obviously, because she's an old machine, she's done a lot of work. It's not had abuse, but she's done a lot of work, and very often what can happen, because it's a cast, is that even though it has a bush in there, over time, because of the sheer weight of the back actor hanging out the back and going on the road, travelling the road, bucket loads, lifting things, you do, even with a bush inside there, you can get a slightly elongated movement which could compress the metal around it and still cause, you know, a sloppy hole, even if you did put a bush in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap a new bush in there, put a new pin in, and I will see what the movement is with that. If we have the same thing happening and there's plenty of room around it, particularly around here, if she's not making a perfect seal and there's a bit of, we get a feeler gauges in there just to see, then I will actually get it line bored and a brand new bush put in. Same with the top one. This is terrible, this one. Obviously by eye you can't actually see it, but when the machine is in use, there's a lot of movement there. So you've got movement there, movement here, and also you've got movement with this going left and right in here. So the combination of the three makes about ½ an inch movement, which doesn't sound a lot, but when you get that on the end of your machine, it turns out to be about 6 inches by the time that ½ an inch is on the end of your bucket. It's virtually impossible to level anything, because it's so much slack in it, and it tends to ride over humps rather than actually cut them out. So here's the machine, fantastic machine, that I've lifted that back actor. I mean, she's only a small machine, but she's lifted that up with absolutely no problem at all. Obviously I've welded this on so that I've got, it's a thumb, but I've used these holes just so that she's not bearing the weight on the very end of the digger, and she's able to pick up a lot more because she's closer to the machine. So anyway, that is the stage that we're at now. So what I'm going to do next is, unfortunately it's only me doing it, so I can't actually film it while I'm doing it, because I've got to be in the machine and it's a bit of a pain. But the next stage is to knock this pin through and to swing this on the deck and inspect all the bushes and the actual king pin that runs through, inspect all the gears, everything, then I'm dying to look at it to see what the situation is on the wear side of it, to see if I need to buy a new casting. I hold hope, because looking at these bushes in here, they seem to have survived and be nowhere near the casting, so and these are going to be quite thick as well, but it's not been changed for 23 years, so anything can happen. So yeah, I hope this helps people doing it. It's not the best one in the world, but it's I think it's possibly one of the only documents about actually doing a king post. But yeah, again, I hope this helps and it's fun to watch. Speak to you soon, bye.